Good morning. Today's topic is the special types of chromosomes. So, before going into the actual topic, you have to know about the structure of chromosome. This chromosome is nothing but DNA packaged tightly in the thread-like structure called chromonemata, and it's mainly seen in decondensed form. But during cell division in condensed form, it looks like a thick condensed chromosomes. Otherwise, it looks like thin thread-like chromonemata or chromatin threads. This DNA, which is present in the chromosome, it is wrapped around proteins or histone proteins, which are basic proteins. These proteins, which are of eight pairs, four pairs, these eight histone proteins are wrapped by DNA to form into nucleosome. Thus, the complex DNA plus histones and other structural proteins are called chromatin. So these nucleosomes they appear as beaded structures on the chromosome. They are called chromomeres. The chromosome have P are two short arms or two large arms called Q. So these arms are joined together by uh, a centromeres at the central region. These two arms, P arms and Q arms are attached to the centromere where the kinetochore is present. They help to keep chromosomes aligned during the complex process of cell division. The two copies of chromosomes are called sister chromatids. Each sister chromatid are identical to one another and are attached to each other by proteins called cohesins. As long as the sister chromatids are connected, they are still considered to be one chromosome. But where there is a separation of chromosomes during the division of the centromere, then they act as two separate chromosomes or daughter chromosome during cell division in a phase of the cell division. The telomeres are repetitive stretches of DNA located at the ends of linear chromosomes. So they are the end parts of the chromosomes, the linear structure, which are rod-shaped chromosomes. They have at the tip region, the region of tip is called telomere. This telomere protects the ends of chromosomes in a manner similar to the way the tips of shoelaces keep them from unraveling. This is the chromosome structure. It shows the centromere, P arm and short P arm and long Q arm. And there are two identical chromatids. One is exact copy of other and each contains one DNA molecule. So the lower part shows the DNA molecule, which long string-like DNA molecule formed into a compact structure by proteins called histones. So this is the metaphase chromosome, which shows the structure of metaphase chromosome is very prominent. It shows the exact structure and it explains best the structure of a chromosome with two sister chromatids and two kinetochores with opposite orientation. There are coesins and proteins which bind these chromatids. So coming to the functions of chromosomes, these chromosomes are known as vehicles of heredity. They carry the genetic information from one generation to the next generation. They are formed of strands of DNA molecules which contain information for the development of different characteristics and performance of various metabolic activities of the cells, nothing but genes. So the strands of DNA molecule which contains the genes, if they can be transported from one generation to the next generation, the offspring. So they are called hereditary vehicles. Another function is the coordination of various functions is brought about to the formation of enzymes, which are complex protein molecules. So by the process of protein synthesis, it produces even the enzymes, which are essential for the coordination of various functions, which can be brought about in the particular cell. So, and also these chromosomes, the information for the synthesis of these protein molecules is contained in the DNA molecule uh, as a nitrogen-based sequence. These nitrogen-based sequences are converted into mRNA like structure, which have again the nitrogen complement to nitrogen bases. These three nitrogen bases can be called as triplet code. So, depending upon the triplet code, the specific amino acid is carried on to the mRNA, which translates the triplet code into amino acid. It carries a genetic code similar to its DNA, and it moves out of the nucleus and get attached to the ribosome during protein synthesis. The tRNA molecule, which is a transfer RNA, which carries the activated amino acids from the cytoplasm, and they carry these amino acids and translate the triplet codes present in the mRNA. So these amino acids are thus linked together with the help of peptide bonds to form into polypeptide chain, and finally it comes out as a protein molecule. So along with these normal chromosomes, there are some special types of chromosomes are found. In some, they are also called giant chromosomes. They are larger than the normal chromosomes. In some organisms, there are special tissues which chromosomes undergo structural specializations. So these specialized chromosomes include, they are also called giant chromosomes since they have the larger body and complex structure. One is polytene chromosomes, second one is Lambrecht chromosomes, the third one is B chromosomes are also called supernumerary chromosomes. So why it is called giant chromosomes means they are exceptionally large and highly specialized. They found during some stages of life cycle of certain cells. There are two kinds of giant chromosomes, Lambrecht chromosomes and polytene chromosomes. So this is due to the enormous size is the result of peculiar kind of chromosomal reduplication called endomitosis or endoduplication. It is nothing but the repeated duplication of chromatids in geometrical progression without accompanying cell division. So there is no separation of chromosomes, but the DNA replicates and they remain attached to the same centromere. So in this process, the DNA and chromatids keep on multiplying in geometrical progression. Thus, endomitosis makes the chromosomes multi-stranded and increases its DNA content nearly 1,000 times or more. It is common in certain types of cells of plants and animals. Coming to the one such type of giant chromosome is polytene chromosomes. The name itself indicates there are many strands of DNA. The many DNA strands are present, so it is called polytene chromosome. The special type of interphase chromosome that are large. So these polytene chromosomes can be absorbed in interphase and prophase. These giant chromosomes, they are found in the cells of salivary glands of Drosophila. First, these chromosomes were observed in the Chironomus, which is a dipteran insect larvae uh, by Balbiani, but he did not call them as chromosomes. Later, in Drosophila salivary glands also such type of chromosomes were observed. So, and in the cells of fat bodies of larval stages of certain dipterans, these type of chromosomes are present. They were first observed in the salivary glands of Chironomus and hence are called salivary gland chromosomes. They are capable of multi-stranded. They are capable multi-stranded giant chromosomes. So the structure of polytene chromosome. The polytene chromosome presents a distinct pattern transverse bands and it consists of dark colored bands altering with the light colored interbands. Nearly 85% of the chromosomal DNA is in the dark band region and the remaining 15% is in the interbands. They are light in color. So this differentiation can be obtained by the dye treatment. The fuel gen is the one which is used to stain this nuclear the chromosomes. So after treating with the dye, nearly 85% of the chromosomal DNA becomes dark colored and the remaining 15% is light color. These bands are mostly heterochromatic. It means uh, genetically non-functional or non-genetic, and the interbands are euchromatic. Their functional genes are present in this area. It is assumed that the band region is formed by the merging of chromomeres of adjoining chromatids through condensation and localized supercoiling of chromatin filaments. So the bands are specific for a particular chromosome, and banding pattern is almost similar in both the homologous chromosomes of a pair. Therefore, during meiosis, the pairing between homologous chromosomes is band to band, the similar bands. So each band consists of genes that can code for more than one protein, hence it is polygenic. This chromosome, the polygyny chromosome with bands, dark and light bands. And so each band is believed to contain tissue-specific genes, and each gene is the band may have multiple copies which are not transcriptionally active all the time. On the other hand, interbands are believed to contain housekeeping genes which are constantly transcribed and translated into products necessary for the cell. So synthesis of proteins takes place, which is genetically active, so it involves in the synthesis of proteins. The structure of chain chromosomes is modified in certain regions such that one or more specific bands enormously enlarge. They become bulged to form a local swelling called chromosome puffs. These puffs were first identified by Balbiani, so it is called Balbiani rings. So this is the Balbiani ring, which is the extension of uh, puff-like structures. So these puffs are transcriptionally active expansions or extensions of chromatin. So they are active centers for the synthesis and accumulation of RNA. So the RNA synthesis, so these puffs, they contain RNA polymerases which are very active, and there is synthesis of RNA is taking place in the puffs. Or in some cases, in addition to RNA, extra DNA is also producing during puffing. Such puffs are the sites of specific gene amplification and are responsible for the differentiation and development. In some puffs, chromatin filaments are drawn out as series of lateral lobes, bulged areas known as Balbiani rings. So this is the Balbiani ring, which are nothing but extensions of the bands outside laterally. There are four categories of chromosome puffs: stage-specific puffs, tissue-specific puffs, constitutive puffs, environmentally induced puffs. Puffing is a cyclic and a reversible process. At different times, puffs appear, grow, and finally disappear. To repeat the whole cycle over and over again. So this process will be repeated. So this puffing involves a regular succession of four major events. One is excessive accumulation of acidic proteins, detachment of the DNA-bound basic proteins to expose the DNA for transcription, despiralization and decondensation of chromatin, active synthesis and storage of RNAs. So this puffing is mainly initiated during the accumulation of acidic proteins. It is also shown that insect molting hormone called ecdysone induces puffing. These puffs and Balbiani rings are regarded as the act centers for DNA duplication and RNA synthesis. Hence, puffing is interpreted as manifestation of gene expression. Since active DNA duplication occurs in puffs, they may contain heavy accumulation of redundant and repetitive DNA sequences. So these puffs have all these characters. These are the main characteristics of polytene chromosome present in a dipteran insects. In case of polytene chromosomes in CEH, they doesn't have neither puffs and Balbiani rings, nor do they show any sign of transcriptional activity in them. Fully formed chromosomes first get transected by membrane partitions which appear in interband region. These membranes consist of only a single diffuse layer of proteins which accompanies polytenization of chromosomes. Then each band and the adjacent interband get completely enclosed within a membrane, forming a vesicle. It is in the case of certain ciliates. Thus, a series of vesicles are formed all along the chromosome. This vesicle stage would be followed by the shrinkage of chromosomes, so shortening of the chromosome. So the transection of chromosome, the formation of vesicles and the shrinkage of the chromosomes are associated with the progressive reduction in the DNA content. So nearly 85 to 90% of the DNA is degraded to acid-soluble products that are permanently lost from the chromosome. This soon after degradation and elimination of DNA, vesicles disappear. So the small amount of DNA that still remains and undergoes the replication. So there are interbands and bands, Balbiani puffs, Balbiani rings. So, so one more giant chromosome is Lamb-Brush chromosome. The name Lamb-Brush chromosome it has got because it looks like a bottle brush with main axis. And laterally there are some loops are formed, many loops are formed. This is the longest chromosomes of all. These Lamb-Brush chromosomes are present in the oocytic nuclei of those animals which have large oky eggs and prophase of first meiotic division extremely extended. So in such cells only this type of, in such nuclei, this type of Lamb-Brush chromosomes are present. So during this phase, the oocytes grow and synthesize nutrition for the future embryo in them. The chromosomes become greatly enlarged and assume unusual configuration. A large number of loops projects out from the chromatin axis. There is a central axis. On other side, a large number of loops are extended, giving the appearance of brush-like appearance. So hence are called Lamb-Brush chromosomes. The Lamb-Brush chromosomes are bivalent, each consisting of two chromatids. So these persist during the prolonged diplotin phase of first meiotic prophase. They were first observed by Fleming and described by Ruckert. So they are seen in diplotin phase of insects, sharks, amphibians, reptiles, and birds. Mainly these chromosomes were observed in Urodela of amphibia. The Lamb-Brush chromosomes in the oocytes of salamanders are the largest of all known chromosomes. So the structure of Lamb-Brush chromosome shows the following characters. This Lamb-Brush chromosome consists of a central axis and a paired series of loop-like lateral extensions. The central axis consists of two bivalent homologous chromosomes, each with two chromatids. So altogether, there are four chromatids are present. They are held together through a contact points or chiasmata. The chromatids are drawn out into paired lateral loops, so central axis extend to the lateral loops as loop axis. These lateral loops contain bundles of submicroscopic fibrils. Both the central axis and the loop axis are formed by deoxyribonucleoproteins. The loop axis may be coated with matrix of RNA and proteins. The lateral loop contains the fully extended DNA duplex, the duplicated DNA. They are believed to be formed of uncoiling of sister chromatids and making the DNA available for transcription. So, just as in the polytene chromosomes, so um, there is an extension of puff-like structures. Here there is a formation of loop-like structures which have the same function. So here also the transcription is taking place more. These lateral loops are the active centers for RNA synthesis. Each loop may contain one or more transcriptional units or transcriptons. Most of the newly synthesized RNA molecules, they will be associated with the proteins and form ribonucleoprotein matrix. This mRNA is also associated with the development of zygote. So the chromosomal axis, it may contain paired series of granular chromomeres from where loop axis extends. Usually 1 to 9 loops may arise from each chromomere. So there is the chromomeres with the DNA and nucleosomes from each chromomere like structure. That is nucleosome like nucleosome which appears as a chromomere. From these beaded-like structures, 1 to 9 loops may arise laterally. Some swellings without loops may be present towards the end of the central axis. They represent the telomeres. Each bivalent may contain a loopless swelling also. It represents the centromere. So this is the structure of Lamb-Rush chromosomes. So there is chiasma, which binds the bivalent chromosomes at the X-shaped chiasma, and there is central main axis from which the lateral loops are arising. The central axis, lateral loops. There are two main hypotheses regarding Lamb-Rush chromosomes. According to Callan-Lloyd, master and slave hypothesis, each loop axis is polygenic with repetitive DNA sequence and multiple copies of genes. So the centromere is believed to contain the master copy of each gene, and the loop axis contains its duplicate copies, which can be considered as slave genes. So only master gene take part in transcriptional activity, so which is present in the centromere region. So in addition to these important special types of chromosomes, there is one more chromosome, that is B chromosome. These chromosomes are also called supernumerary chromosomes. They are accessory, aberrant, or redundant chromosomes. They are extra copies of normal chromosomes. So they are not homologous to normal chromosomes and are not essential. Normally, they are highly heterochromatic, that is, genetically they are not active. They are present in many species of animals and flowering plants like maize, rye, some ants, some grasshoppers, etc. Their increased presence in individual organisms produce no marked phenotypic effect. So, the presence of these B chromosomes, there is no change in the phenotypic expression of the individual species. So, they are often lost or gained in an individual organism. There are some features included. uh, the characters of these B chromosome. They are smaller in size, heterochromatic, allocyclic, and telocentric or acrocentric. They exhibit a structural polymorphism among cells and tissues of same organism. So there is a change in the shape of the chromosomes in the cells and the tissues of the same organism. They may change in their shape also. So genetic effect is less compared to other chromosomes. They are present in large amount. They affect fertility and vigor. Relatively unstable. So they are telocentric and acrocentric. So they are relatively unstable. They get eliminated due to lagging and non-distinction. Uh, these chromosomes, so they do not follow the Mendelian inheritance principles. They are non-Mendelian. They show non-Mendelian inheritance. No chiasma pairing is seen here. There are appreciable quantity of highly repetitive DNA with very low cytosine and guanine content. There are more amount of histones and lesser protein content. So there are two groups of B chromosomes. Mitotically stable B chromosome, whose number is same in the cells of an individual organism. Another one is mitotically unstable B chromosomes, whose number is different in different cells of an organism. So there are two types of B chromosomes: mitotically stable, mitotically unstable. These mitotically stable B chromosomes number is same in the cells of an organism, but unstable B chromosomes are different. They are present in different number in different cells. So coming to the effects of B chromosome. So due to the presence of these B chromosomes, there may be delay of the flowering time of plants. They adversely affect the plant characters like height, weight, etc. They suppress or promote meiotic pairing. Uh, the current concept is that B chromosomes might have formed from small fragments through the clustering of highly replicative and heteropignotic satellite DNA. They may be formed from the highly that is clustering of highly repetitive DNA. They may be separated as a small segment and other structural rearrangements. They eventually become as large as other chromosomes by repeated duplication. So these are the three types of special types of chromosomes. These two are very important: Lamb-Rush chromosomes and polytene chromosomes. They are very large, so they are called chain chromosomes. The B chromosomes are the other type of chromosomes. So they are genetically inactive. We do not carry out them, or phenotypic changes cannot be taken by this. Uh, chromosomes. This is about the topic special types of chromosomes. Thank you.